Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle and you're watching Apple Boy WNY. So we are in the 9th day of apple harvest. It's been a while since I brought the camera with me, and I thought what better video could there be than showing a little bit of what goes on with apple harvest. Now in this video I'm going to do a bunch of drone footage and kind of some far back videoing. So I'll have a lot of video and I'll talk over what's going on. I'm not going to do a lot of close-up in this video, but you'll be able to get a good idea of how the fruit gets harvested in the field, how it gets out to some of our loading zones, and then from there how it gets to wherever we're storing it, whether that's the packing house or the cold storages. So in the summer and winter we store our empty bins in bin barns to keep them out of the weather, the rain, the snow, the sun. That way we use primarily wood bins, so we try to keep them inside so they last longer. We get a longer life out of them. So here's just some bins here that are cubed up, ready to get moved out with the straddle trailer out to the field wherever we may need them harvesting on that given day in the field. So it's been a while, but you can see the beans are drying down pretty good, and we'll be harvesting those next week. Here you see we're at one of our loading pads. We have these loading pads in the center of our orchard, so that way we can bring fruit to the center here and then they get gathered in for the trucks. So you see this, what we call a bin trailer, and what he just did is he dropped off 5 bins of fruit in the loading pad. We use off-road forklifts to stack the fruit for our straddle trailers, which are 6 long, 4 high cubes that are being made. You can see there's a start of a cube there. Looks like there's 13 bins in that cube. So this is one of our bigger locations, which we call this farm the Well. You can see the bales at the end of the row are the hail net rolled up for the end of the season. You can see the hail net off in the distance on still some of the trees. Those are Fuji. We leave the hail net on the variety as long as we can until the day we're about ready to pick. So the hail net that we've taken off are Honeycrisp and Gala. So what the bin trailer does is it's feeding the harvester machines. So usually we have 3 harvesters or 4 harvesters teamed up with 1 bin trailer. So you can see he's backing down the row, picking up 5 full bins that one of the harvesters has unloaded. So in this case today, there's 3 harvesters teamed up with this 1 tractor. On each harvester, there's 6 people. So we have 18 people for 1 bin trailer driver. So you can see he's getting close to the fulls. There's a harvester machine off to his right now, and then 1 farther down the row. So he's backing into the fulls right now. He'll clamp onto them and take those back to the loading pad. He'll put empties on the back of the trailer here, and this process goes on and on throughout the day. Here we're in Honeycrisp. You can see there's 6 rows of Honeycrisp next to 6 rows of Fuji with the hail net. Off to our left, they're picking there into the 5 bins of fruit on the harvesters that my dad developed. We pick our whole farm with these harvesters. This is our older orchard system, our straight tree. Our newer plantings are narrow wide V system. So 6 people on each machine, 2 on the ground, 2 on the middle, and 2 on the top. Here in this clip, we're moving one of our harvesters from a different block. So we tow these harvesters with pickups or with a tractor with a pintle hitch. In this case, we're using my pickup. So what we do is we remove the pin from the back of my truck, and then we drive the harvester to the truck. Every station has its own steering and stop and start, so I'm steering from the front right now to guide it up to my hitch. As soon as we're aligned, the machine stops. I put the pin in. We make sure that front steering is centered because we'll be dragging that front down the road. And then now we are disengaging the drive so that way we can freewheel these down the road and tow at a much higher speed than what the machine normally drives at. Just a simple lever to disengage them. Next, we clean off any loose apples so it doesn't fly off going down the road.
Now we move.
And just like that, we're ready to move.
So we just got done picking in that block Brookfield gala. Brookfield is just a certain strain of galas. So there's a bunch of different types of galas. There's Buckeye, there's Royal Gala, there's Brookfield. Brookfield's semi-new, it's not super new strain of gala, but it's known for its high color, meaning almost 100% of the apple gets red, compared to like a traditional gala where 60-70% get red and there's still a cream back to it. So we're moving from the galas and we're headed into start some of our regular Honeycrisp. Honeycrisp we'll pick 3 times. So the reason we do that is because of the difference in maturity on the tree. Some apples are ready while others still have another week, possibly 2 weeks to fully mature. We do this to have consistency in flavor and in ripeness, so that way the eating quality at the store is consistent. So these are Honeycrisp here. I don't know if the camera picks up, but some are red, some are green. We're going to some younger trees. Younger trees tend to mature just a little bit earlier than the older trees. Part of that has to do with just the way they grow. They also have less apples on the tree, so they can mature quicker. More sunlight. And yeah, so we're going to go into some first pick Honeycrisp. This is the first Honeycrisp that we will pick for the season. Some of these we'll put right into the pack house so that way we can get them right out to the consumer. And then others we'll store once we get into some older trees where we know the storing quality on them is very well. We'll put those into long-term storage, which we won't pack those and send those to the supermarket until March or April. So let's quick talk about some fruit maturity. So like I was saying earlier, apples on the tree are at different maturity, especially on Honeycrisp here. So you got a real nice red apple right here, where on the same tree you got a green apple that is nowhere near mature. This apple in 2 weeks will look like this apple. But this is a Honeycrisp. With all the rain and heat we've had, Honeycrisps are very large size, which is kind of a downside. Honeycrisp can get too big, where all of our other varieties, we can't seem to get them big enough. So like your Galas, your Macintosh, it's been a great year for them. So this Honeycrisp is looking real nice. And it's tasting real sweet and crisp as well. So we do multiple picks on a few different varieties.
One of those is gala. So we're in a gala row right here. We've already picked this fruit one time, so that's why you see there's not many fruits left on the tree. Certain areas have a little bit more apples left where they were a little greener. The heavier the crop, the harder they are to color. So some of these trees here that had a lot on there, you can see they're roped right on. That's why it took a little bit longer for them to color up. So we're actually coming through these Brookfield gala here, and we're doing a second pick on them now because the ones that we left earlier are now very nice color, and we can do what we call clean the tree. So we'll take every single apple off this tree. So I started the channel after the fact of kind of our regular storage. You saw the video, the title, that's how we moved 850,000 apples in one day. In that video, we were transferring fruit out of one of our long-term storage rooms to our pack house. That was back in February or March, I believe. So that fruit was some of the best fruit in the field that was picked, meaning it can store the longest, it's the healthiest fruit. Some of the second pick fruit we store in just cold storage, we call it. So there's still oxygen in there, there's still CO2, just normal breathing air. All it is cold air. It's like your refrigerator. And with that fruit, we don't like to store it in there till past December time. So let's go check out that that room where we're starting to store some of the cold air. I probably won't talk in there, but I'll give you some footage, and you can see what that looks like. So this is what we call our regular storage. All it is cold air. So we stack the fruit in rows in here, and this is kind of like the grocery store. We come in here and there'll be all different varieties. We'll pick the variety that the pack house needs and we'll haul it out that big door there. So we got some Brookfield galas. You can see they're looking real nice, real good color. You can see that bin has a little bit more color than this bin. This bin could have been the bottom of the tree, or just maybe a little bit heavier fruit load on the thing, which resulted in not coloring up as good. So here we got some more fruit stacked. This is from a different block. You can see that's our block number, ADC. This block here is from 12H. So with that, we take fruit size samples of all these lots of fruit so we know what's in the bin. So that way, if we need some fruit that's a bigger, a customer that wants bigger fruit, we know to pull that lot of fruit, compared to if a customer wants smaller fruit, we'll pick that fruit. So all of our fruit for fresh market has to be larger than 2.5 inches diameter, and over 3 inch are premium apples. So in a few weeks, you won't be able to walk in here without being right up next to some bins. This will be all full of bins. We just started filling this morning. That's going to do it for today's video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like button, as it only helps the channel. See you next time.